Hello, good evening to everybody in India, and good morning to everybody in Canada and America. Can you all hear me? If you can, please type yes in your chat box. Welcome to all. How is everybody doing today? Welcome Deepak, Jai Krishna. Welcome Hari Kumar ji. Welcome Sangeeta ji. Jai Krishna Sonal. Jai Krishna. કેમ છે બધું બરાબર? દીપક સોનલ મજામાં બધા? Sangeeta ji, welcome. Hari Kumar ji, Jai Shri Krishna. Sangeeta ji. Today is the last day of our Bhagavad Gita class. We will finish the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita today. And then we will have the revision of all the classes we have done. So hope everybody is doing fine. We'll wait for a few more minutes for everybody to join. Hi, good morning, Gary. Good morning. Suresh ji, good morning. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start. Good morning, Medha ji. Or good evening, probably everybody in India. Welcome to Dhruv, Dilip ji, who just joined. Medha ji, then Tash, and welcome to Madhufai. Hiral, thank you so much for joining us today. Haribol Charu ji, Haribol Madhufai. So we are looking forward to today's session. Today is the last day of our Bhagavad Gita course, and then we'll have question answers, discussion. Your feedback on the entire course. We'll wait for 1 more minute and then we'll get going. As people are joining us. Good morning, Tash. So I think we can begin now. Avinash ji, good morning. We will begin our today's session. Good morning, Veena ji. Good evening, Veena ji. Thank you for joining us today. So I welcome you all for today's Bhagavad Gita class, and we will begin our class with our invocation prayer, Mangalacharan prayer. The prayers are on your screen, the mantra is on your screen. Wherever you are, sit straight and recite the mantra along with me. I hope everybody can hear me and see the mantra on your screen. And let's begin it together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you everyone for being part of the entire Bhagavad Gita course. Today is our last session, and today we are completing 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. We have tried honestly to give our best. Everybody of you have been here for all the time, all the weeks. That has been a long journey. But I'm glad that we are on a finish line and everybody got benefit out of it. I see, looking at your enthusiasm, I feel more enthusiastic that this is really, really wonderful, Today we will complete 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and we'll briefly revise what we have learned as of now, and then we will complete the 18th chapter. 18th chapter is one of the most important chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and 18th chapter is just like a summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. Whatever Lord Krishna has taught in all the 17th chapter, he has concluded it in a very nice way in the 18th chapter. And we are going to learn the summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. In the first 6 chapters, we learned mainly about Karma Yoga. Lord Krishna introduces karma, but then he says that karma has to be performed with bhakti, and that is called Karma Yoga. So whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we earn, whatever we enjoy, everything has to be done by keeping Lord Krishna in the center of our activity. Everything has to be done with an attitude of gratitude. Everything we do has to be done as a sacrifice for Lord Vishnu. Then that karma itself can become bhakti. So Lord Krishna is encouraging to do activities, do our karma, and he is going to explain that more in the bhakti section, that what is the importance of bhakti, what are different types of bhakti, and how people can really perform the bhakti. That is explained by Lord Krishna in 7 to 12 chapter. And then last 6 chapters, which is 13 to 18, Lord Krishna is explaining that by knowledge also we can cultivate and we can develop bhakti. First chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we learned about Arjuna's Vishada Yoga. Arjuna was lamenting, Arjuna was crying, Arjuna was not willing to fight, and he was compassionate. And he almost gave up his duty as a fighter, as a Kshatriya. When he was compassionate, towards his family members and friends, looking at his compassion and looking at his desire to give up his karma, his duty, out of frustration, Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. And Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna about the soul in the Sankhya Yoga, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So basis of spirituality is to understand that we are spirit soul. Whatever activities we are doing, whatever karma we are doing, has effect on the soul. If we do good karmas, our soul has to bear the fruits of that. And if we do bad karmas, our soul has to suffer from the bad karma. So Sankhya Yoga, Lord Krishna explains in detail about the soul, Atma. We are imperishable and we keep on changing our bodies, which is compulsory. And the karma is the one which decides our next body. So Lord Krishna then explains about karma and karma yoga in third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Then Lord Krishna further says that doing karma, either good or bad, has fruits to bear, but our life has to be lived as a sacrifice. And then Lord Krishna explains that whatever karma we do is as a sacrifice to Lord Vishnu. And that karma becomes a karma. That means whatever activities we do, like we eat after offering the food to Krishna. That becomes prasad. And then prasad, even though it's a vegetarian food, whatever hinsa, while we are cooking vegetable or vegetarian food, we might have committed some bacteria might have been killed or some germs might have been killed. So we ask Krishna that please forgive us for that. Then Lord Krishna explains about Nishkam Karma Yoga in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So here, whatever we do it without expectation of any results, and whatever the results we obtain, we give it to Krishna. So accepting whatever happens in our life as a blessing of Lord Krishna, which is called prasad. Prasad is also food we eat, but real prasad is that we do whatever we have to do with our best, and whatever the fruits we obtain, it might be favorable, it might not be favorable, accept that as a prasad of Lord Krishna. So that is called as Nishkam Karma Yoga. Then Lord Krishna explains about Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana, he explains about Ashtanga Yoga process, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. And then at the end of 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that among the best of the yogis, yogi nam api sarvesham mata gatendra atmana, best among all yogis is the one who is doing bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is the best of all yogas. If anybody wants to know God, only way to know God or Krishna is through bhakti. Jnana, you cannot understand Lord Krishna completely, because Jnana or knowledge is unlimited. There are so many Vedas, so many scriptures. We will not even be able to finish all those. But bhakti, which means whatever we do, offer it as a sacrifice or as our offering of love to Krishna, that is bhakti. So if you are a teacher, you teach, and your teachings offer it as a sacrifice to Krishna. If you are a businessman, whatever results you obtain, whatever money you earn, part of money you donate to service of Krishna. If you are a professor or a doctor or an engineer, whatever you do, offer it as a service to Krishna or God. And that is bhakti, and that is what Lord Krishna is explaining further to Arjuna in 7th to 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna explains that I am everywhere. I am in the sun, I am the moon, I am in the stars, I am in the water. Raso aham apsu kaunteya. Lord Krishna says, I am the taste of the water. So here, Lord Krishna explains all pervasive nature. He is everywhere. So when we see the sun, we remember Krishna. We see the moon, we remember Krishna. We taste the water, drink the water, we remember Krishna. So whatever we do, everything as a blessing of Lord Krishna. So that is very important part of bhakti process. That bhakti does not mean only going to the temple. Bhakti does not mean that you sit only at one place. Bhakti you can do at every place. Whenever, say, you're a businessman, a customer comes to your business, that customer himself is representative of Krishna, because Lord Krishna says that every living entity he is situated. He is all pervasive. So Lord Krishna is in every living entity as Paramatma. So whosoever we meet, that person is representative of Krishna. So in this way, we learn to respect everybody. Then how to remember Krishna at the time of death? So when we do bhakti and we always remember Krishna, we see Krishna everywhere, in the sun, moon, stars, water, food, people around us, living entity around us. And that is called as Krishna consciousness. And once we leave the life of Krishna consciousness, then at the time of death, we can remember Krishna. And when we remember Krishna at the time of death, then we never take birth again. So that gives us freedom from birth, disease, old age and death. Janma, Mrityu, Jara and Vyadhi, this cycle, we get freedom from it. Then Lord Krishna further explains in detail about bhakti, and then he explains more about who among all the devotees is dear to him. Then in the 10th chapter, Lord Krishna explained about opulences, Vibhuti Yoga, how all the Devi Devtas, they arise from him, how all the planetary systems arise from him. And everything which comes from Krishna is explained by Lord Krishna in 10th chapter. Then in 11th chapter, Arjuna wanted to see what Krishna had just described. So then Lord Krishna explains him about Vishwarupa, universal form. Then Lord Krishna further explains about Bhakti Yoga in detail. So those who meditate on chapter number 12 of Bhagavad Gita every single day will develop immense bhakti, immense devotional service towards Krishna. Then in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains about Prakriti, enjoyer, and consciousness, and filled Kshetra and Kshetrajna. And then we learned about the concept of Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Then in 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about three modes of nature: Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. And these three gunas are continuously acting upon us, and they are always binding upon us. There is not a single fraction of moment when we are free from these three gunas. So when currently also Sattva Guna is acting upon us, then when you watch a movie or you watch a sports game, passion is acting upon us. And when we are lazy, then Tamoguna is acting upon us. So every time one or other mode of nature is acting upon us, and we can never say that we are independent, because the strings are always pulling us. Then Lord Krishna explains about Purushottam Yoga in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And here Lord Krishna explains about the inverted nature of the material world. Material nature is exactly a replication of the spiritual world. And we learned about banyan tree, if you remember. The material world is just a reflection of a spiritual world in this desire water. Because of the desires, we have come into the material world. And then Lord Krishna explains about divine and demoniac nature in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. According to the modes of nature we have acquired, we have divine and demoniac nature. And then last week we did 3 divisions of faith, or Shraddha. People in the mode of goodness, people in the mode of passion, and people in the mode of ignorance. How everything in our life is controlled by the 3 modes of nature. So our Shraddha, our faith, also can fall into the 3 kinds of faith. So Lord Krishna explained that to Arjuna. He said that according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. So those who are in the mode of goodness, they will worship Devi Devtas. Those who are in the mode of passion, they worship people as a living being, people as a god, or some they make a god out of their own imagination. So that is mode of passion. And mode of ignorance, tamoguna, people worship ghost and spirit. So that is the faith according to the mode we have acquired. And then our food also can fall into the 3 kinds. Food in the mode of goodness, which is always nutritious, which gives joy, which gives pleasure to our heart, which gives long life, which are fruits and vegetables and plants. So this is the food which is called as Sattva Guna food. So food which is dear to those in the mode of Sattva Guna, it increases the duration of life, it purifies one's existence and gives strength, health, happiness and satisfaction. But then if you eat too spicy food or too hot food or too pungent food, or that is food in the mode of passion, and this will cause disease. And also the food in the mode of tamoguna, like eating meat, which is a decomposed food, meat, fish, eggs, even onion and garlic are considered in the mode of tamoguna. And that is why we as followers of Bhakti Yoga, we do not eat onion and garlic in our food, because that is also, it is sort of the bad smell is coming from onion and garlic. Some people say onion and garlic has a lot of medicinal values. People will try to justify it. But then medicine has a value when it is taken in proportion. Whenever you are diseased, you take medicine. When you are not diseased, you don't take medicine. So onion and garlic, they can be accepted as a medicine. If some medicine contains onion and garlic, you have to take that medicine. But adding that as a regular food item, it causes smell, it causes fragrance to your food, which is bad smell, So that's why onion and garlic is also called as in tamoguna. So all this food which is tasteless, decomposed, putrid, which is untouchable, which should not be eaten. And that is why the best among all the food is prasadam. Prasadam is the food which is offered to Lord Krishna. Now, similarly, the charity, austerity, whatever we do can be classified into Sattva Guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And that is what we learned last week, is that just austerity of speech. Lord Krishna instructed to Arjuna that we must do austerity, tapasya. And what is the tapasya with the body? So, tapasya when we do with the body, then it consists of worshipping the Lord, respecting the seniors, respecting the spiritual masters, respecting the devotees, everything, and then also keeping your body clean, and that is the austerity of body. Then austerity of speech, speaking the words which are truthful, pleasing, beneficial to others, which should not agitate others. And austerity of mind, tapasya of mind, being satisfied. What we do our best, and whatever we get, we be satisfied. Don't just run. Doesn't work like that. So austerity of mind is satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control. All these are purification of mind. So that is what Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Then Lord Krishna explains about different types of charities. So charity is in the mode of goodness, charity is in the mode of passion, and charity in the mode of ignorance. So Lord Krishna says, when we give charity, when we give a dan, without expectation of return. So we want to give, we want to help out, but then we don't expect anything out of it. We are just doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the charity which is in the mode of goodness. So charity without expectation of result, at a proper time, at a proper place, and to a worthy person. That is in the goodness. But the charity with expectation of result, you want name, fame, prestige, then that is in the mode of passion. And then the charity perform, and then it promotes illegal activity or wrongful activities. That is in the mode of ignorance. So tamoguna. So charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to an unworthy person is in the mode of ignorance. But then Lord Krishna further continues this instruction in the chapter number 18, and that is what we are going to start today. Here, chapter number 18 is the conclusion actually. And here, whatever we have learned, Lord Krishna is going to conclude today. And he is also going to explain about the perfection of life through renunciation. Renunciation is in Sanskrit called as tyaga. There are two words, one is called as tyaga and one is called as sannyas. Now, sannyas means to give up everything and just give up family, give up work, whatever you're doing is sannyas. So sannyas literally means giving up the activities. But Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna that better than sannyas, which is better than giving up your activities, is a tyaga. Tyaga means giving up the results of your activities for Krishna. So Krishna says that tyaga is better than sannyas, which is the tyaga is almost as good as sannyas, which means that in the olden times, people used to, after the age of 60, 65, people used to take sannyas, which means they wear the saffron trays. They're called monks or sannyasis. And sannyasis go out in the, and then they spread the message of love and peace. However, Lord Krishna says, hey Arjuna, by doing your activities, your karma, as a kshatriya, as a soldier, you can become best of the best sannyasi. And how is that? Because you are giving tyaga, renunciation. And Lord Krishna explains about renunciation, tyaga, in depth in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the conclusion of everything. So conclusion of all the karmas, what we do is tyaga. Enjoyment is for the animals. Animals like to enjoy the food, and animals like to enjoy the sleep and mating and fighting and all those things. But humans have a higher intelligence. And we can think of giving up our karma, our activities for the service. We can think about perfection through renunciation. We can understand the importance of tyaga. Whatever we have today is because of tyaga or sacrifice by our parents. Without tyaga, we would not have got whatever we have. Our mother, when we were young, she gave up her sleep, she gave up her comfort, and she looked after her. Tyaga. Tyaga is the basis of humanity. Without tyaga, without renunciation, the humanity cannot remain happy. Uh, Opposite of tyaga is bhoga. Bhoga means having everything for yourself. And if we become selfish, then there is no chance of peace and prosperity. And that is what Lord Krishna is going to explain in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna in 18th chapter, 5th shloka. He says, "Hey Arjuna, yagna dana tapa karma nyatyajyam karyam eva tat yagno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam." Act of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. So, what is Lord Krishna emphasizing here? That yagna, dhan, and tapa. Yagna means sacrifice, dana means charity, and penance means tapa. This should not be given up. This is just like a tyag. And the day we stop giving charity, the day we stop doing yagna or sacrifice. Yagna does not mean the fire sacrifice only. Yes, fire sacrifice means yagna, but yagna can be done in a variety of ways. Now what we are doing is the jnana yagna, exchange of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. You can do Sankirtan Yagna. You can chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is also Yagna. Or giving up the fruits of your activities. That is also Yagna. Or Annadan, giving the food to the people in need. That is also Yagna. And charity. Charity means donation. Whoever is needy, we have to help them out. But then Lord Krishna laid down charity in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And then tapa. Tapa means austerity. So all these are not to be given up because they purify. The purpose of sacrifice, purpose of yagna, purpose of dana, purpose of tapa. Tapa means penance, means like say fasting. Like yesterday was Ekadashi. So fasting on the day of Ekadashi. It actually purifies our body, purifies our mind, purifies our soul. Charity, when we give up, when we give dan, donation to worthy cause, in the mode of goodness, without expecting any results, without expecting any honor or prestige out of it, that purifies ourselves. And same is with yagna. So all these processes are for purification. Purification means giving up the selfish mentality. And that is possible only after yagna, dana, and tapa. Yagna, dana, and tapa never ever should be given up, which is what Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. And further, Lord Krishna says, all the activities, etani apitu karmani, sangam tyakta falani cha. All these activities, yagna, dan, and tapa, should be performed without attachment or without expectation of any results. They should be performed as a matter of duty. So Lord Krishna here is explaining about attitude or our approach while performing yagna, dan, and tapa, sacrifice, charity, and penance. And what is the attitude? Only as a matter of sacrifice without attachment. Without attachment means no self-gain into it. everything as a matter of duty. Like, I am doing this charity because it is my duty to give the charity without attachment, which means that not to claim that I am doing it. I am able to do this because of the blessing of Krishna. And that is what is the attitude while performing yagna, dana, and tapa. And that should be our approach. Then Lord Krishna further explains to Arjuna what he says. He says that nityasya tu sannyasa karmano papadayet mohatasya parityagas tamasa parikirtita. So now here Lord Krishna is explaining about giving up the activities. Sometimes we do tyaga, but then we say that I am giving up this. Now tyaga can also be in the mode of sattva guna, rajoguna, or tamoguna. In the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, and in the mode of ignorance. So Lord Krishna is saying prescribed duties should never be given up. Prescribed duties means, like Arjun was a soldier and he has to fight. If you are a student, you have to study. Somebody says, I am a student and I am giving tyaga, I am doing tyaga, which means I am giving up my study. That is not accepted here. So you say, I am doing tyaga, but that is tyaga of prescribed duty is not allowed here. So Arjuna wanted to give up the duty, but Lord Krishna is saying here that prescribed duties should never be given up. Niyatasya tu sannyasa karmano na papadayet. If one gives us the prescribed duty out of illusion, such renunciation is the mode of ignorance. So whatever the prescribed duties, you must do it. Whether it is favorable or whether it is you are comfortable or not, it doesn't matter. Arjuna was a Kshatriya and duty of Arjuna was to fight. But Arjuna wanted to give up his duty as a Kshatriya. That is in the mode of ignorance, because Arjuna was lacking the knowledge about karma, jnana, tapa, all this he was lacking. So prescribed duties should never be given up. And then Lord Krishna is saying, Dukkham iti eva yat karma kaya klesha bhaye tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet. So sometimes people will give up tyaga. They will do tyaga, but then they will do it in the mode of passion. What is tyaga in the mode of passion? Anyone who gives up prescribed duty as a troublesome or out of fear of bodily comfort is said to be renounced in the mode of passion. So such action never leads to elevation of renunciation. So somebody says, I'm giving up my tyaga, I'm giving up, I'm doing tyaga. And what is he giving up? So he says, I'm giving up exercise every day in the morning. And why he's giving exercise? He's giving up something which should never be given up. We give up the things, we do the tyaga of the things which are not to be given up. So we give up doing exercise every day. We do tyaga of exercise. We do tyaga of meditation. We do tyaga of reading Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because it is troublesome. To get up early in the morning is troublesome. To do physical exercise is troublesome. To read Bhagavad Gita is troublesome. So what we have done? We have done a tyaga of the things which should not have been done. So here we are doing tyaga or sacrifice out of laziness actually. So giving up the prescribed duties as a troublesome out of fear of bodily comfort is said to be in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to elevation of renunciation. It is called as renunciation in the mode of passion. So as I said, rising early in the morning may be troublesome, but we should never give up rising early in the morning. Early in the morning, ideally we should rise about 1.5 hours before sunrise, but practically sometimes it's difficult. So rising at least at 6 o'clock, if not later than that, is very, very important for all of us. Or if you are waking up, if you are working late, we can understand. If you are working late night duty, then that is another situation. Some people work in night duties like doctors, doctors or nurses or like that. So that is a different work. But otherwise, if possible, rising up early in the morning should never be given up. Similarly, reading Bhagavad Gita, doing exercises, doing meditation, eating food in the mode of sattva guna, you should never renounce or you never tyaga these things. Okay, I will pause here for a few seconds and take any questions if you have. Are you all okay? Everybody's okay? Everybody's able to understand what I'm saying here? You can hear me clearly? Okay, we have a question from Neeraj. When we say that we have to stay in Krishna consciousness, who is this we? Who is this I? Who is the performer performing the action? Is it intelligence? Is it false ego? Is it soul? Or if it is soul, but we learned that soul is just an observer. Very nice question by Neeraj, and I will answer that. So Neeraj, here we means I'm just saying for all of us. Actually, when I say I should not give up rising in the morning, I should not give up yagna, I should not give up dana, I should not give up tapa. Now when here which means atma here, body is just an instrument which is given to me, and it's a vehicle. It's for traveling, and my journey in this is with the body. I want to travel towards Krishna. I want to get out of this cycle of birth, disease, old age, and death. I want to practice bhakti yoga, and I can practice bhakti yoga only with the help of body. With the body I can serve, with the body I can cook and help feed others. With the body I can do lot many things. So this body is an instrument. So when I say I, that is soul. Now there are two types of ego. When I say I sounds egoistic. But there are two types of ego. One is false ego, one is true ego. False ego is knowing that I am body. So you say I'm this, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a professor, I'm this, that. So that is a false ego. And true ego is that I am the spirit soul, I am the servant of Krishna, I am a part and parcel of Krishna. Everybody is part and parcel of Krishna, and my main duty is to serve and love. Service and love are the prime necessities of the time. If we don't love, if we don't serve, there is no point in doing bhakti. If we can't love others, if we can't serve others, that is not bhakti. So when I say I, which I consider myself as a part and parcel of Krishna, everybody else is part and parcel of Krishna. And my idea here of renunciation is that I want to purify myself. I want to give up the mentality of bhoga. I want to give up the mentality of master. I want to give up the mentality of the ruler. So basically to become das, dasanudas, which means that to become the servant of the servant of the servant. Idea is accept Krishna as a master, and we all being the servant of him. So that is the Krishna consciousness. I hope that helps. Neeraj has a point, but we learned that soul is just an observer. It does not perform any karma. It's mind and intelligence which control the mind. It's the mind and the intelligence which control the mind. So even though the soul is just a observer, but the soul has to suffer all the results of our bodily activities. So I as a soul has been given equipment or instrument or tools like buddhi, mind, sharira. These are the tools given to me as a soul. So as a soul, my intelligence, I have to control my intelligence and deliver my soul, deliver myself. So with this, whatever I have facility with my intelligence, my buddhi, my mana, mind, and my indriya, I have to act in my surroundings. So that is Kshetra and Kshetragna. Kshetra means this Sharira, and Kshetragna is Atma, which was explained by Lord Krishna in 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna explains that this body is a Kshetra. Arjuna asked Krishna the same question, that please tell me who is acting, who is doing this, how is all these actions working? So Lord Krishna then explains about 24 elements, and we learned about them in detail in the chapter number 15th of Bhagavad Gita, where all which we are made up of five Panch Mahabhut, objects of senses, the sense itself, all this, so all these are Kshetra, and then Atma is a Kshetragna, so field and the field of activities, and then the knower of the field. So we being the knower of the field, we are responsible for what we are doing actually. So even though the soul is an observer or knower, Kshetragnya, but still we have to go through the cycle, because that is what the Gahana Karmanogati. Swati ji has a point. It means mind trains body to give up the things not suitable for Krishna Bhakti. Perfect. Yes, we have to train our mind with the intelligence that the things which are not favorable for progress in the path of bhakti, which means progress in the path of purification of our existence. Bhakti means purification. Bhakti is not a ritual. Ritual is involved, like getting up early in the morning is a ritual. Doing pranayam, doing yoga, doing mantra meditation, doing japa is a ritual. But the purpose of this ritual is the purification. And what is the purification? Giving up the mentality of bhoga and love and service. Love and service is the essence of everything. And when we hate others, we have a ill feeling about others, we envy others, we are greedy, we are lusty, then that is impurification. And the idea of following the process of bhakti through renunciation is to understand that we are not going to take up, like when we came with empty-handed, and we go empty-handed. So what we are going to renounce? There is nothing to renounce. Somebody says, I'm going to renounce my money or this or that. There is nothing to renounce. Only thing to renounce is the mentality of self-enjoyer. Selfish mentality has to be renounced, and using it as a service. Somebody might do bad to you. Somebody might say bad words to you. We don't have to worry about that. We have to just keep on our path, which is the progress towards purification. And that is possible only by reading scripture like Bhagavad Gita, having good association, and engaging in service. So take up some service, take up some duty which you like. Say, if you decide that, okay, I'm going to learn Bhagavad Gita and spread this message of Bhagavad Gita. That is a very limited field here, that you decide that, okay, I'm going to learn this, and then I'm going to master it, and I'm going to spread the message of Bhagavad Gita. That is a service. You have taken up a seva or service. Here, you don't have to invest a lot of money. You do whatever little you can, learn and tell others. That is a little service. Without service, there is no renunciation. And you can do this only if you love it. So love and service is very, very important. So with that, we'll proceed further, because I was hoping to finish Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 today. So then further Krishna says, "Ho Arjun, karyam iti eva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna sangam tyakta phalam chaiva satyaga satvito mataha." O Arjun, when one performs his duty, prescribed duty only, because it ought to be done, and renounces all the material association, and all attachments to the fruits. This renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. So tyaga in the mode of goodness. Simply working for Krishna. And give up all the results of your work to Krishna. That is very, very important, tyaga. So here you might be working in a factory. Say you're working in an assembly factory. You never give up your work. But while doing work, you can remember Krishna. Or when you start your work, you say to Krishna, thank you so much for giving me this beautiful body, the intact body, and I am able to do this because of your blessing. Thank you so much. And then we do our work. That is also renunciation. So renunciation, tyaga in the mode of goodness, is acting in the service of Krishna. People make a mistake that they say, I am doing it. I am the doer, but that is not so. Tyaga, which means that giving credit to Krishna, giving the credit to whom it belongs to, not taking the credit when it does not belong to. So that is renunciation in the mode of goodness. So here Lord Krishna is not asking that give up your job. Bhagavad Gita does not say that you give up your duty and just start doing japa or go to the temple. No. Krishna is not saying that. Krishna is saying, do your work, whatever work you have taken up. Say you are working in a hospital, you treat the patients, but while treating the patient, you remember Krishna. That, hey, Krishna, I'm able to do this because of your blessing. And that is what is required. So that is in the mode of goodness. Further, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 18.11, he says, here he defines who is the true sannyasi, true renunciator. We usually consider a sannyasi as a person who is wearing a saffron dress, bhagwa kapda. We consider that as a sannyasi. But here, Krishna says sannyasi can be anybody. Like, any one of us can become sannyasi at this particular time of the movement. And how is that? So he says, Nahi deha brata sakyam tyaktum karmani asheyataha yastu karma phala tyagi yastu karma phala tyagi Tyagi abhidhiyate. Very, very important here. Here Lord Krishna said, it is indeed impossible for an embodied soul being to give up all the activities. But he who renounces the fruits of action is called as the tyagi or true renunciation. So what is true sannyas? True sannyas is nothing but giving up the fruits of action. That is called Nishkam Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga, which was explained by Lord Krishna in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If you focus very carefully, then Lord Krishna is repeating what he has told in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 3, chapter number 4, chapter number 5, and chapter number 6 in these verses of 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Because Lord Krishna is summarizing the entire Bhagavad Gita. So here in these words, Lord Krishna is saying in another way, he's saying that true renunciation is the giving up the fruits of action to the service of Krishna. So it is not possible to give up the activities. Some people say, I give up my activity as a doctor or an engineer, and they say, okay, I will take a sannyas. That doesn't work like that. Sannyas does not mean that give up your duty. Sannyas means giving up the fruits of your action. That is true renunciation. So what is the true renunciation? Perform the activities without attachment to the fruits. And that is what was mentioned in 2nd and 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says that Karmanyevadikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. That is what Lord Krishna is explaining again to Arjuna here. That here, Arjun, perform your duties, give your full by remembering me, and then whatever fruits come, do not become attached to it. That is true renunciation. So now somebody may ask me, why to renounce fruits of action? Now you said renounce the mentality, but now you're saying renounce fruits also. So everything we should give up? Why? Why should we give up all these things, So Lord Krishna is explaining that, and we have talked about this, that what is Lord Krishna is saying? He says, Anistam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam bhavati ati atyaginam pretya natu sanyashinam kvachit. So for one who has not renounced the threefold fruit of action, desirable and undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life, no such results to suffer or enjoy. So why should we give up? Here Lord Krishna is saying that if you don't give up the fruits of action, then you have to either enjoy or suffer. For that you have to take birth again. Punarapi janma, punarapi marna, punarapi janma, punarapi marna. So here Lord Krishna is explaining the principle which was mentioned in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is akarma, and nishkam karma yoga in 5th chapter. So Lord Krishna is revising here everything for us, and is emphasizing that if you will not renounce, if you do not tyaga the fruits of action, then you will have to take birth again and again and again, and then you have to suffer. So once we start giving up, do whatever we have to do whatever I have to do, and then whatever the results I obtain, I give it to Krishna. I said, Krishna, this is you. Krishnartu samarpanam. So I am giving up everything for you. That is called as the sannyas or tyaga. Then Lord Krishna further says in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 19th sloka, now people do karma, people do tyaga, people have a knowledge, and these all also can be classified into three different types of things. So jnanam karma cha karta cha tri dhaiva guna bhetata prochyate guna sankhyaanya yathvat shrunu taniyapi. So he says, according to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. Now hear from me. So here now Lord Krishna is saying that we do jnana, we do tyaga, we do tapa, we do charity also with knowledge. Now the knowledge can also be of various kinds. So what is the knowledge in the mode of goodness, sattva guna? What is the knowledge in the mode of passion, rajoguna? And what is the knowledge in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna? Actually, current age is the age of information. This is the 21st century. Age of information is knowledge. We are getting all the knowledge. Nowadays, we are getting knowledge from WhatsApp. We are getting knowledge from Facebook. We are getting knowledge from 24/7 media on the TV. We are getting knowledge from our friends and family members. And the Google, of course. Yes, Medhaji, Google. Google is also giving us knowledge. Google Guru. Google has become a guru nowadays. Google Guru. So people want anything, they just Google it. But the knowledge can also be of different kinds of knowledge. And that is what Lord Krishna is explaining, what type of knowledge we should acquire. So Lord Krishna is saying, Sarva bhuteshu yenekam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajgnanam vidhi satvikam. So that knowledge by which One undivided spirit nature is seen in all living entities. Though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness, sattva guna. So any knowledge which gives us the identity, which gives us the knowledge, information that there is Atma and there is Paramatma within all of us, that knowledge is in the mode of goodness. All other knowledge, everything else, lies into the category of passion or ignorance. So, I just want to know, in your life, have you heard any knowledge other than the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, which gives you identity that there is Atma, there is Paramatma, and our duty is to identify everybody as a Paramatma or part of Paramatma. There is no other knowledge, right? If anybody has heard this before, please tell me. Any other knowledge which gives us knowledge about Atma? What is the knowledge about soul, how the soul acts, how it transmigrates? What is, this is all knowledge. There is no other source which is uh, giving detailed information as given in Vedic culture, Vedic literature, and which is Bhagavad Gita. Now, there is no other source which gives us so much information about spirituality. All the knowledge which is based on other so-called religious sects also, every knowledge is based on Vedic literature. Every knowledge. So Lord Buddha, Lord Mahavir, they teach from based on the Vedas, and all the Vedas they teach about. And the summary of all the Vedas is in Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna has taken out the essence of all the Vedas and he has put it into Bhagavad Gita. So any knowledge which does not, even if you get the knowledge from other source, which teaches you about, like say somebody says Lord Buddha or Lord Mahavir, or somebody has learned about soul or Atma from other source, that is supposed to be in the mode of goodness. So please accept that knowledge. If any other knowledge is in the mode of passion or ignorance. Hari Kumar ji has a comment, and thank you for your comment. Thank you so much. So any knowledge, any field which gives you knowledge about soul, that knowledge is in the mode of goodness. So here, the knowledge by which one learns that there is a spirit nature everywhere, there is a soul everywhere, there is a Paramatma everywhere. We are all part and parcel of Paramatma. That is in the mode of goodness. Now, the knowledge by which one sees that there is in every different body, there is a different type of living entity. So some people or some culture, they believe that there is no soul in the animals. So that's why they kill animals. But then they think that there is a soul in the human being. So they do not kill the humans. Right? Thou shalt not kill is the first commandment in Bible. And then people kill the animals. So when you ask them that, why do you kill animals when we should not be killing, that is the first commandment. Then they say that the killing, because there is no soul in the animals, there is no spirit in the animal. So that sort of knowledge is in the mode of passion, right? And then the knowledge in the mode of ignorance. Some people have no knowledge about soul. So this is in the 18th chapter, 20th sloka, Lord Krishna explains about knowledge in the mode of goodness, then the knowledge in the mode of passion, which is in the 21st sloka, and 22nd sloka, the knowledge in the mode of ignorance, the mode of tamoguna, no knowledge of soul. I see there is a question by Nidhi. Nidhi, I will come back to your question as soon as I am done with this slokas of this 18th chapter, because otherwise we'll fall behind the time. So please hold on to your question. If I forget to answer your question, please ask me again when we take a break for the questions. So Any knowledge which teaches you that there is Atma and there is Paramatma everywhere, that is goodness, because that teaches us humility. That brings us to the platform of love and service. Passion means there is only differentiation or discrimination, you can say, that may lead to a sinful activity. And then ignorance, there is no soul, then that leads to a life of hell, actually. Then karma or action in the mode of goodness. Action in the mode of goodness is explained by Lord Krishna in 18th chapter, 23rd sloka. Here again, Lord Krishna is summarizing the entire Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, hey Arjuna, try to act in the mode of goodness. And what is the action in the mode of goodness? So action which is regulated and performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive results. So you act, say you are a teacher, you teach. How do you teach? Without any love or hatred, without any discrimination, without any desire for name, gain, fame, without any desire whether somebody will like it or not. You just do as a part of your duty, and without an attachment. Such an action is called as action in the mode of goodness. Action performed to gratify the senses, desires, and sense of false ego, that I am the doer, I am the beneficiary of everything. That is in the mode of passion. And action performed in illusion, disregard of scriptural injunction, without concern for future bondage or violence or distress, is called as mode of ignorance. So Krishna is asking Arjuna to perform action in the mode of goodness, which is to act as a soldier. He was a soldier, he has to act, but without any attachment, without hatred or love, or without desire for fruitive results. Ananda Mahamuni has a question. I will answer your question, but a teacher should desire that his student should learn correctly and perfectly. Yes, desires can never be given up. Desires to be used in the service of Krishna. So whatever the desire we have, desire cannot be finished, but we have to just convert those desires into spiritual desires. So here the desire of selfish mentality, all these are selfish. The desires in the mode of passion and ignorance are the selfish desires. If you have a desire to help others, to make others' life happy, peaceful, those are desires which are beneficial for your spiritual development. Then buddhi, intelligence. We all have intelligence, but then intelligence can be in the mode of goodness, saguna, intelligence in the mode of passion, rajoguna, intelligence in the mode of tamoguna. So intelligence in the mode of goodness, buddhi, by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating. That is explained by Lord Krishna in 18th chapter, 30th sloka. Lord Krishna says that your buddhi, we all have buddhi. And what do you do with the buddhi? With the buddhi, we do either, we use our buddhi in the mode of passion, which means we cannot distinguish dharma and adharma. We cannot distinguish between what is to be done and what is not to be done. We are completely confused. That is in the mode of passion. Arjuna couldn't distinguish dharma and adharma. So he was using his buddhi, but with his buddhi, he was using in a wrong way. So Lord Krishna is saying, what is a good buddhi and what is a durbuddhi? Subuddhi and durbuddhi. So what is subuddhi? Subuddhi means that by which one know what we need to do, what we do not have to do. And that is what is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So anything which is mentioned by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is all goodness. And then passion and ignorance, then passion means we do not know. And ignorance is exactly opposite of goodness, which is when one considers adharma as a dharma, irreligion as a religion. So people think that killing the animal is adharma, but some people consider that killing an animal as a dharma. They think that it is part of the religious duty, so they will sacrifice the animal every single day, because in the name of dharma, in the name of religion. Under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strive always in the wrong direction. That is buddhi, using your intelligence in a wrong way. And this is what Lord Krishna describes, that buddhi by which we either cannot distinguish between dharma and adharma, or we do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done, which was explained very nicely by Lord Krishna in 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is to be done, what is not to be done. So we have to use our intelligence in the mode of goodness. Then determination. Many of us are determined. But what is your determination? Is it your determination in the mode of goodness, determination in the mode of passion, or determination in the mode of ignorance? Dhritaha, which means determination. And Lord Krishna explains that in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, determination in the mode of goodness, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of mind, life and senses, is in the mode of goodness. So suppose you determine that every day I'm going to read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and then no matter what happens, you read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day, and along with that you practice yoga, meditation, you do japa every single day, you control your life, you control your mind, you control your dietary habits, control the senses. That is the determination in the mode of goodness, which you cannot shake it actually. No matter what happens, you will read Bhagavad Gita every single day. No matter what happens, I will read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita, or even say one shloka of Bhagavad Gita. That is mode of goodness. Then mode of passion, that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in the religion, economic development and sense gratification. So example is given here by Lord Krishna, that some people are determined that they will fast. Like say some people do fasting every Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Some people fast all 7 days a week. Some people do alternate fasting. So many different types of fasting. But then they want this fasting because they want results. Some people say, I will fast on that particular day as an offering to particular Devi or Devta. And they want some economic gain out of it, or some sort of fruitive gain out of it. Then that is in the mode of passion. When you fast, for example, then you fast it as a matter of your service to Krishna, and you say that I'm fasting today because I want to do more japa. Because when you are eating, then you have to cook. You have to spend more time in buying the grocery and all those things. So once a month or once every 15 days, we do Ekadashi. So what is the purpose of doing Ekadashi? That we eat less and we spend more time for spiritual practice. That is the purpose of fasting. And another purpose of fasting is to give a rest to your body. That is physical benefit. But the spiritual benefit is you spend more time for spiritual practice. So on the particular day of fasting, you do extra reading of Bhagavad Gita or extra japa or meditation. So you spend time in the spiritual practice. That is the purpose of fasting. But people do fasting. Some people do political fasting. People do fast because if my demands are not met, I will fast. So that is in the mode of passion. And determination in the mode of ignorance. That determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. So some people, they dream. I mean, dreaming is not bad, but their determination cannot go beyond dreaming. They just plan, oh my God, I will do like this, I will do like this, and then that's it. It ends there. No action further. So that will not work, and that determination is in the mode of ignorance. Then Lord Krishna further explains happiness. Lord Krishna is saying, "Hey Arjun, you are thinking of happiness, but happiness can also be in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance." What is that? So that happiness, which is in the beginning maybe just like a poison, but at the end it is just like a nectar, and which awakens ones to self-realization. That is in the mode of goodness. So what is the happiness in the mode of goodness? For example, doing exercise every day, getting up early morning and doing exercise. How many of you really like doing exercise? I mean, some of you really like it and some of you really do it, but most people in general, they little bit lazy about exercise. Or if they determine, sometime they will do one time and then they will not do other time. So, but doing exercise in the morning, it might sound like a poison. It may not be comfortable for you. But the end result of it is really good. You remain healthy, happy. You can do a lot of seva service with the body being healthy. So determination, which just sounds like a poison in the beginning, but it gives nectar. You do yoga every day, might be finding difficult in the beginning, but then the end result of doing yoga practice every day is wonderful. Reading Bhagavad Gita every day may be difficult, but it will beneficial at the end. So that is in the mode of goodness. Passion, that happiness which is derived from contact of senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end. So here I'm going to explain this in more little detail. Passion means some people like eating spicy food. Some people like eating pav bhaji or something from the outside restaurant. Eating food from the restaurant might feel like happiness, eating that oily, spicy food. But the end result of that is not good. You get heart disease, you get diabetes, you get all sorts of problems in your body, and then you suffer. So the result is not good at all. So that is what is Lord Krishna is explaining. The happiness in the mode of passion, sukham. Everybody wants to be happy. Who doesn't want to be happy? But the source of happiness can be the source of distress. So if you find the source of happiness through sattva guna, through the goodness, it might be difficult in the beginning, but the end result will be good. But if you find the source of happiness from tamoguna or rajoguna, then there is a problem waiting for all of us at the end. And the ignorance, the tamoguna happiness, it is a delusion from beginning to end. And like ignorance means happiness from sleeping more than 8 hours a day, or 6 to 8 hours is the required time. But some people sleep for like 10 hours, 12 hours. That is the sleep in the mode of ignorance. Laziness, illusion. Some people, they feel happy when they are lazy. They are not doing anything, they feel happy. But Lord Krishna is saying here in Bhagavad Gita that source of happiness has to be the goodness. And what is the criteria for that? It might appear difficult in the beginning, but the end result is good. That is goodness. So with that, Lord Krishna further now explains to Arjuna about perfection. How many of you or all of us wants to be perfect in our life, right? Perfection is very, very important. And the perfection in the happiness, perfection in the charity, perfection in the in your work. How do you achieve perfection? Let's see. How many of you want to be perfect in your life and you want to achieve perfection? And how do you achieve the perfection? Do you think it is possible even to achieve perfection? Practice. Okay, everybody's answering the same. By practice, by sincerity. Okay. By practice and preaching, by presence of good habits, by practice, by good discipline, by practice, by discipline, by practice, trueness, uh, yes, by dedication, perfection. One can be perfect when I achieve moksha. Okay, that is a good answer. Okay, so we have surrendering to God and doing our duty. Okay, by practice and offer it to Krishna. So perfection is what is explained by Lord Krishna in next few shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And let's learn the perfection through work. So here Lord Krishna says that if you really want to be perfect, then work as a sacrifice. That is the perfection. Working as a sacrifice to the Lord. To engage in one service, one occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, but not to accept somebody else's occupation as your own occupation. So you might not be perfect, but still you can be perfect. How is that? Say, I am not perfect in Sanskrit language, but still my work I'm doing is as a teacher, I want to teach Bhagavad Gita. So I learn it, even though my Sanskrit is not perfect, I learn and I try to explain whatever is mentioned by Lord Krishna in as much as possible as a sacrifice to Krishna. That is perfection, rather than taking somebody else's occupation. So Lord Krishna, Arjuna wanted to be perfect by becoming a Brahmana. So what did Arjuna do? Arjuna said, I'm giving up my duty as a soldier, and I will just sit and meditate and I become a beggar. I will prefer begging. Literally, Lord Arjuna had said that to Krishna. So Krishna says, no. You cannot become perfect in that way. Engage in your duty, in your occupation, whatever the work you have taken, even though you might not be perfect in that, but do that rather than giving up that one and taking somebody else's occupation. Every endeavor, Lord Krishna is saying in 18 chapter 47 shloka, there is some fault. You cannot be perfect at all. It is not possible. There is fault. There is some sort of a lacunae in every work. Just as the fire is covered by the smoke, no fire can be without smoke. Fire is always covered by the smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, even if such work is full of fault. Right? So whatever is your, like say I'm a father, my duty is to look after my children, my family. That is one of my duty. And I have to do that duty no matter what happens. So Lord Krishna is explaining here that perfection through work is possible only working as a sacrifice to Lord, offering it as a service to Lord. And even though you may not be perfect, you have to keep on doing it as a sacrifice. Because I am not 100% perfect doctor. No doctor is 100%. But still, the doctor has to do his duty, try to save the patient, even though there might be some sort of an error, some sort of an imperfection. But then trying your best, that is very important. There are always new advances, new things coming up in the science, and we cannot keep up 100% to the science always. But whatever we know, we give our best as a sacrifice to Lord Krishna. And then, so that is perfection through work. That is one method to becoming perfect. Second method, Lord Krishna is saying, you can perfect through renunciation. And that is explained by Lord Krishna in 18th chapter, shloka number 50 to 53. And we are going to talk about that in brief now. So perfection through renunciation, how is that possible? So controlling the mind with determination is very important part of perfection. So we determine that, okay, I will decide, I will do say 1 round of mantra meditation every single day. So then I will not eat meat, I will not kill any animals, I will not cheat anybody, I will be truthful, I will be honest. All these are controlling the mind through determination, through different practices. Giving up the objects of sense gratification. Being free from hatred and attachment. Living in a secluded place. Living in a secluded place does not mean go to the forest, but living in a place which is not filled with Rajoguna or Tamoguna. That is the perfection through renunciation. Eating little. Little means not too much, not too less. Just controlled eating. That was explained by Lord Krishna in 6th chapter. One who can control his body, mind, and power of speech. And we talked about this in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One who always in trance and who is detached from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from proprietorship, and one who is peaceful. So this is the perfection through renunciation. So perfection through karma. So we may be imperfect, but acting it for as a sacrifice. That is perfection of your work. And perfection through renunciation. So renunciation of mind, renunciation of speech, renunciation of sense gratification, that is to be given up. And then we can achieve perfection of life. One cannot be becoming perfect by becoming bhogi. Bhogi means eating too much. Can you become perfect by eating too much? It's impossible. Can you become perfect by talking too much? It's not possible. You cannot become perfect. You become more imperfect by talking too much or eating too much. So talking whatever is necessary, controlled talking, controlled eating, controlled sleep, controlled sense gratification, no false ego, which means I am the doer, I should get honor, I should get all the prestige. False strength, I am the master of everything. False pride. That has to be given up. And that is giving you perfection. So if we really want to be perfect in our life, we have to do whatever we do. I use the word we, but I'm going to change it. If I want to be perfect in my life, I have to keep on doing my work, my duty, whatever is my prescribed duty, my duty as a father, my duty as a son, my duty as a brother, my duty as a husband, my duty as a doctor, my duty as a teacher. I have to keep on doing my roles. And I may not be perfect in all those, I may make mistake, but I'm doing all this as a service to Krishna. And that is what is counted as important part of the perfection. I may not be perfect, but Krishna is perfect. So I am in contact with perfect. So I am satisfied with that. Right? And then perfection through renunciation. So I will control my senses. I will not eat more than required. Sometimes you like sweet, but then 1 gulab jamun is good, 2 is good, but then more than that becomes a poison. Sleeping for 6 to 8 hours is required, but if I sleep more or less, that is a poison. Talking is important, but talking nonsense is like inviting troubles. So all these things will give us the perfection. Do you all agree with this perfection idea? If you agree, just type yes. If you don't agree, just type your comments. So what is the Vanaprastha retirement? Not a good idea at a particular age. I'll talk about that. We are talking about perfection here. So perfection through work. Do you all agree with this? Perfection through work, perfection through renunciation. We can be perfect if we are in contact with perfection. And perfection through contact through is possible only through two ways we can be perfect. Perfection through work and perfection through renunciation. There is no other way. Some of you we were typing practice, discipline, all those were important. Many of you type perfection methods, right? And that's why I asked this question that do you think the perfection is possible? And in the material sense, perfection is not possible. But in the spiritual sense, perfection is possible. How is that? By working for the service of Krishna and renunciation the mentality of bhoga. That is very important. Now, next part is what happens when we achieve this perfection. So in 18th chapter, 54 shloka, Lord Krishna says that when you achieve perfection, then what will happen? Then you will realize Krishna. Your life will become joyful because the perfection gives you happiness. Imagine you do something very perfectly and you score 100 out of 100. That is immense joy. We feel sad when we are not perfect or when our results are not as per. But when we work for Krishna and we work out of renunciation, then we become fully joyful. And this is explained by Lord Krishna in 18th chapter 54 shloka, that we never lament or desire to have anything more, because we keep on doing our work out of our love and service, and we keep on giving all the results, giving all the credits to the Creator who has given us this opportunity. We are equiposed immediately. As soon as we achieve perfection, we become equal to everybody. We do not discriminate. This is a male, this is a female, this is an Indian, this is a Canadian, this is an American, this is a white, this is a black. Immediately all the perfection disappears because you have become perfect now. And how is that possible? Perfection through work as a sacrifice, and perfection through the renunciation of your mentality. It's all mind setup. So perfection through the changing the mentality. I am a servant rather than a master. I'm here to give service rather than take service. I'm here to love rather than to be loved. That gives you perfection. Otherwise, no matter how much money we make, no matter how much respect we get in the society, no matter how many followers we have, no matter how much wealth we have, we will never be satisfied. Satisfaction is only possible through whatever the work we do it for service of Krishna, and give up the mentality of bhoga, renunciation, tyaga. That is only which can give you perfection. Otherwise, there is no matter how much you practice, you will never be perfect. No matter how much discipline you have, but unless and until that mentality is given up of bhoga, you will never be perfect. You will always lack. You will always want to achieve material things, but then material things will not give you perfection. Only thing which will give perfection is pure devotional service unto Krishna. Bhakti only can give perfection. No other yoga can give you perfection. You might be a highest yogi in your field of yoga, but only yoga which will give you perfection is through bhakti, through surrender, through samarpan, and nothing else can give perfection. And that is what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. In 18th chapter 55th shloka, Lord Krishna is explaining the perfection through Krishna consciousness, changing the consciousness. And Lord Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschashmi tatvataha tato maham tatvato gnatva vishate tad anantaram. Very, very important shlokas. now are coming is that Lord Krishna is saying, one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is fully consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So Lord Krishna, in 7th to 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, has declared himself as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the master of everything. And this has been proven by all the Vedic scriptures. All the authorities have proven this, that Krishna is the Supreme Master. And here Lord Krishna is revising whatever he has taught us in 7th to 12th chapter, is repeating again for us. So as of previous sloka, Lord Krishna explained karma and tyaga. Now he's explaining bhakti. So Lord Krishna is saying, one can understand him as a Supreme Personality of Godhead only by bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God, which is going to the spiritual world. And further he says, Chetasam sarva karmani mai sanyasya mata paraha buddhi yogam upashritya machita satatam bhavaha. Mata chittaha. Mata means me. Mata means me, and chitta means consciousness. Mata chitta means consciousness of me. When Krishna is saying me, what does that me mean? That me means Krishna himself. Not me means I as a person. Krishna, me here is saying is for Krishna. So mata chitta means my consciousness. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Chetasa sarva karmani. In all activities, just depend on me. Me means Krishna. And work under my protection. Mai sannyasa mata paraha. Buddhi yogam upashrita. In such a devotional service, be consciousness of me. Mata chitta satatam bhava. So everywhere we just remember with all our intelligence Krishna. Then Lord Krishna is saying, just depend on me. Do all your activities and leave rest unto me. Do your best, leave the rest. Focus on the roots. Don't worry about the fruits. Just do whatever you have to do for service of Krishna and under the protection of Krishna. In such a service, be fully conscious of me. And Lord Krishna already told us in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 7 to 12, that he will protect us. Lord Krishna is saying, I will deliver you what you lack, and I will preserve what you have. And this is my experience, friends. I'm telling you out of my experience for so many, 15 years or so, I'm reading and practicing a little bit of Bhagavad Gita every single day. My experience is that when we work for Krishna, he always protects us. He takes care of you. Just work for him. Success or failure, do not worry about it. Just work for him. Do not give up your duty, no matter what happens. No matter what happens. Just keep on remembering him and do your work. Everything will be fine. You will achieve perfection. And perfection means satisfaction. Perfection means you will have peace of mind. Perfection means you will have a sense that yes, whatever you are doing is satisfying you and your life. That is perfection. There is no other perfection. Perfection does not mean you become the best doctor on the planet. That's not possible. Perfection means having a state of mind that yes, I have done whatever I need to do, and that is only possible through bhakti. Doing it as a service of Krishna. Then further Lord Krishna says, Machita sarva durgani mata sprudha tarishyati atha chetatvam ahankaram nashrosyashi vinakshasi. So Lord Krishna is saying, if you become conscious of me, you will pass over the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Very, very important thing here. Mata chitta. Again, the second time Lord Krishna is using the word mata chitta. Mata chitta. Chitta means consciousness. Mata chitta. Chitta means consciousness. Lord Krishna is saying that if you work, but if you are not conscious of me, then you will be bonded to the results of work, and then you will have to take birth again and again and again and again and again and again and again, come as a human being or animal or insect or bird or reptile, whatever it is. You will come back again. But if you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life. By my grace, if, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through the false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Lost means finding no way out. You're just circling. I don't know about you, but I'm fed up of this repeated cycle of birth and death. How many lives I'm going to pass through this? Sometimes I was animal, sometimes I was bird, sometimes somebody killed me by putting some insecticide on me. Sometimes I was killed by a car accident. Sometimes I was killed by somebody killing me by a weapon. I've suffered so much in my previous lives. Do I want to go through again and again, or accept this path of Krishna consciousness? We have lived so many lives for ourselves. Why not one life for Krishna and leave what he has taught here? We might have different beliefs, we might have different sects, we might be born in different countries, we might be born in different families. We have lived so many lives. Whether you believe it or not, we have lived so many lives. We have lived our life for a country, we have lived our life for family, we have lived our life for father, mother, whatever the way we have lived our life. In the previous lives, all other previous lives, previous births, we have given up our life. Can we give up one life for bhakti? Can I give up this one life for Krishna consciousness? If you consider the lifespan of our this present life, maybe 100 years, but then whole our cycle, repeated cycle of birth and death, punarapi janma, punarapi marana, millions of years we have been existing on this planet. Out of that 100 years or maybe 50 years is not a big number. Million years and 50 years is not a big number. But can I give this one life, whatever is left over? Like say I'm 50, I'm becoming 50 now. So whatever is little left in my life, can I use this little life left over for service of Krishna? I've lived all my life for service of myself and my body and bodily relations and all those. That duty has to be done as a service to Krishna. But can I live remaining of my life in full knowledge that one day I'm going to give up? And whatever I do, I'm conscious that I act as a matter of sacrifice, as a matter of styaga, as a matter of renunciation. And remembering Krishna. Every time when I do, I remember Krishna. If I can live that life, I think this life will be the last life then. Because Krishna has said here, Krishna said to Arjuna, hey Arjuna, you boldly declare that my devotee never perishes. Here Krishna is given in writing. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. And Krishna never go away from his word. So then further Krishna says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshya arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani maya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all the living beings, who are seated as on a machine made up of material energy. Here the Lord Krishna is using the word yantra. Yantra means machine. Yantra rudhani maya. Very important thing to note here is that machine, yantra, we think that yantra word or yantra was discovered recently in the 20th or 18th or 19th century. But no, yantra existed forever. Yantra means machines. And what is that machine? Lord Krishna is saying this body is just like a machine. This body is a machine. Lord Krishna is saying yantra rudhani maya. So in this body, the living entity is situated. We were talking about the chariot example. The body is just like a chariot, and Lord Krishna is saying here, yantra rudhani maya. So in this chariot, the Atma is situated and the Paramatma is also situated. And that is what Lord Krishna is saying, that the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and directing the wanderings of all the living entities who are seated on a machine. Living entities are situated in a machine. So Atma is there in the body. So here you can see that in this is a big bird here on the picture on your screen. I hope you can see it on your small phones or on your computer. But in this bird, there are two things. One is Atma and one is Paramatma. On the top is Paramatma here, and there is Atma here. And Lord Krishna is saying here that as a Paramatma, I am there in this. This body is just like a yantra. This is a bird, but this is a different type of yantra, different type of machine. But this body is just like a machine, an instrument, a car. It's a different type of car. But Lord Krishna is saying is that I am there in everybody's body as a Paramatma. And then Lord Krishna further is saying, Iti te gnanam akyatam guhyat guhya taram maya. Thus I have explained you this guhyat guhya taram maya. Guhya means secret. I have explained you the secret science of entire Bhagavad Gita. Now Krishna is concluding Bhagavad Gita. These are the last few slokas of Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna is saying, Iti te gnanam akyatam guhyat guhya taram maya. I'm explaining you this most confidential knowledge. I have explained you everything now. Vimashya etad aseshana yatha echati tatha kuru. Vimashya means now you deliberate. Deliberate means you think over. And yatha echati tatha kuru. Then you do whatever you like. Thus, I explained you this knowledge, which is very confidential. Deliberate on this and do what you wish to do. So Lord Krishna is not telling Arjuna, hey Arjun, you do like this because I'm telling you this. Lord Krishna is telling you, hey Arjun, I have told you everything. I have concluded this. And now I leave up to you to decide whatever your intelligence. So God has given us the intelligence. He has given us the freedom. God is not going to dictate. People say that if God is in everybody's heart, then why he is allowing bad things to happen? So here is the answer. Lord has given a freedom, a little bit of freedom. He has given us all the information, what is good, what is to be done, what is not to be done, how we can achieve perfection, what are the ways to live the life. And now it is up to us. Parents can give sanskar to their children. But whether the children put them into practice or accept new sanskar is up to children. Parents cannot dictate children's life forever. You can guide them where they are young, but after a while, then they have their own brain and they will think accordingly. So Krishna is our father. Tvameva mata pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhu is everything. And he has explained Arjuna all the Bhagavad Gita. And he says, I've explained you, Arjun, the most confidential of all the knowledges, Bhagavad Gita. Raja Vidya Raja Guyam Pavitram Idamutramam. Now it's up to you. Do whatever you like, Arjuna. I'm not going to dictate. He says, because you are my dear friend, I am speaking to you. My supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. And then he further says, Manmana madamava bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evashyasi satyam te pratijano priyoshime. So Lord Krishna is saying, hey Arjun, you are very dear to me. So finally, I'm telling you last 2 or 3 words. Always think of me, become my devotee, offer your homage to me, thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mama evashri satyam te pratijano priyosime. He's saying, hey Krishna, hey Arjun, whatever you do, just think about me. Become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. You will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. And here Lord Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman paridhyajye mamekam sharanam rajaha aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshashyami mahasuchaha. Hey Arjun, abandon all varieties of religion, dharma, and surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not worry. So here Lord Krishna is saying that just follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. If you sincerely follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then we will be delivered. There is no doubt about it. And Lord Krishna has mentioned this in Bhagavad Gita. Dharma here does not mean Hindu Dharma, Christian Dharma, Sikh Dharma, Jain Dharma, Muslim Dharma. It doesn't mean like that. Dharma here means that give up all other your concocted feelings of your mind and just accept one dharma, which is to follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. And then what will happen? Surrender and deliver. Lord Krishna is saying that aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will deliver you from all the sinful reactions. Do not worry. Mokshashyami ma sucha. Ma sucha means not worry. So if we follow instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then this life will be our last life. But if we do not follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, we'll take birth again and again and again and again, and we'll keep on going and coming back. So further Lord Krishna says, Ya idam paramam guhyam ma bhaktve abhidashyati bhakti mai param kritva mama evashyati ashamshaya. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So here Lord Krishna is saying that if you understand this Bhagavad Gita, and if you explain this Bhagavad Gita to others, for one who explains this supreme secret of Bhagavad Gita to the others, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me. So if we learn Bhagavad Gita and if you explain Bhagavad Gita to others, what does Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita? At the end he will come back to him. So if we learn this Bhagavad Gita very nicely, take it to our heart, practice it, and explain to others, we are guaranteed to go back to Krishna Loka. We will never ever take birth again. That is explained by Lord Krishna here in Bhagavad Gita. So we have to take this Bhagavad Gita to our heart and soul. Make it everything of our life, make it as the only target of our life, to read and practice, read and practice, read and practice. We are guaranteed. Lord Krishna uses the word Bhaktam mahi param kritva mam eveshashi asamshaya. Asamshaya. Here, if you see this word asamshaya here, which means no doubt, without any doubt. If you learn Bhagavad Gita and teach others, then no doubt you will go back to Krishna Loka. That is guaranteed here. And what is further Lord Krishna says? Na cha tasman manusheshu kaschim me priya kritmaha bhavita na cha me tasmad anya priya taro bhuvi. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there be ever one more dear. And who is that? One who explains, who learns Bhagavad Gita and teaches Bhagavad Gita to others is very, very dear to Lord Krishna. So here Krishna says, there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. So here 18.69, Lord Krishna is saying that if we learn Bhagavad Gita, take it to our heart and teach others, then we become dear to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna, when you are dear to him, he will take care of you 100%, guaranteed. Ma suchaha asamshayaha, which means do not doubt about it. And Lord Krishna further says, and I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by this intelligence. And further he says, and one who listens with faith and without doubt, without envy, becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to auspicious planets where pious dwells. So this is for all of us, So we have learned this Bhagavad Gita, we have listened to Bhagavad Gita such a wonderfully, such a patiently. So then what happens? We become free from all sinful reactions and will attain the auspicious planets for sure, and will dwell that. And further Lord Krishna says, "Oh son of Prutha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with your attentive mind? And are your intelligence and illusion dispelled now?" My question to all of you, have you all heard this Bhagavad Gita with your attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions dispelled now? If yes, please type yes. If no, please type no. Because we are finishing Bhagavad Gita. We are on the end of Bhagavad Gita today. And I hope your answer is yes for sure. Because Lord Krishna is explained so much here that he's explaining Arjuna further. Arjuna further says, like you all are saying, my dear Krishna, oh infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm, I am free from all the doubts, and I am preparing to act according to your instructions in Bhagavad Gita. So I hope this is your resolution as well, that illusion, it may not have gone completely, but still we are on the right path. And by Krishna's mercy, we should start acting upon Bhagavad Gita. Here Arjuna is saying, now I'm going to act. So with this, we all should have a resolution today that no matter what happens, I will read Bhagavad Gita at least one chapter a day, every single day. It won't take long time, friends. But please, if you take to your heart and soul, one chapter of Bhagavad Gita is not bad. It won't take long time. But reading it every single day, Bhagavad Gita as it is, I have sent you a PDF copy of the Bhagavad Gita as it is in before also. And please open the book every single day and read it, Every single day, open Bhagavad Gita, read it, and uh, meditate upon it. Lord Krishna is told to Arjuna, "Hey Arjun, I have told you this Bhagavad Gita. Now you meditate upon it and do whatever you wish. I'm not going to dictate you." But Lord Krishna has asked Arjuna to meditate upon it. And Arjuna is saying that, "Hey Krishna, I thank you so much for giving me this knowledge. I have regained my memory, and I will follow all the instructions as you wish." So everybody would have got Bhagavad Gita at their home. If you have not got Bhagavad Gita at home, please buy Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because this is the only Bhagavad Gita which will give you bhakti. No other Bhagavad Gita will give you bhakti. I guarantee you, this is my experience. I'm not a franchisee or agent of this Bhagavad Gita as it is. I'm not getting any money, but this is the one which will give you the bhakti. I'm sharing a PDF file with all of you now. A file is coming on your way. Click on the file, download the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Download on your computer, download on your phone, read it, make a point to read it every single day. Arjuna is promising Krishna, "Hey Krishna, I am going to act according to your instructions." So let's make this as a resolution today that we will act on Bhagavad Gita. We'll read Bhagavad Gita every single day and we will try to put it in our practice. Bhagavad Gita is not about religion. It is all about ourselves. Whether you are Hindu, Muslim, Jain, whatever you are, read it and make it to your heart and soul. And further, then, as you know that this Bhagavad Gita began with a conversation between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra, a blind king and his secretary. So Sanjaya, who was hearing all this, he says, "Thus I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And it is so wonderful is the message that my hair is standing on end." Arjuna is saying, "Hey Krishna," Sanjaya is saying to Dhritarashtra, who is blind king, "After this, hearing this conversation, I'm very, very happy. My hairs are standing on, goosebumps are coming on my body. By mercy of Vyasadeva, I have heard this most confidential talk directly from the master of mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna." He says further, "O king, I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, and I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again." And final shloka here in 18th chapter, 78th shloka, Sanjaya is saying to Dhritarashtra, "Yatra yogeshwara Krishna, tatra shrira vijayo bhutir, dhrutva nitirmatir mamaha." Oh, yatra yogeshwara Krishna, yatra partho dhanurdhara, tatra shir vijayo bhutir, drutva nitirmatir mamaha. So here Sanjay is saying, wherever there is Krishna, yatra yogeshwara Krishna, the master of all mystics, yatra partho dhanurdhara, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, tatra shrir vijayo bhutir, there will be certainly, shrir means opulence, vijaya means victory, bhutir means extraordinary power, and drutva means morality, and matir nitir drutva nitir matir mamaha, there will be morality. That is my opinion. So here Sanjay is concluding 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita by saying, wherever there is Krishna, wherever there are teachings of Lord Krishna, wherever there is Bhagavad Gita, wherever or whoever is practicing the Bhagavad Gita, there will be opulence, there will be victory, there will be extraordinary power, and there will be morality. That is my opinion. With this, we are finishing 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. My humble respects and pranam to everybody of you whosoever been through this journey of 18 chapters. I'm really, really grateful to all of you for being part of this wonderful journey. I have learned a lot while going through this teachings, and this teachings has cherished my life. Whatever the time I have spent with all of you, it is wonderful, and I will miss this opportunity. And I request all of you who have gone through this Bhagavad Gita that if possible, I know I'm not um, expecting anything out of this, but if possible, uh, our next course of Bhagavad Gita is starting on 26th of September. And I'm sending you a link here. Spread the word if you feel like. Again, there is no expectation from this. You do not have to do this. But if you can spread this link, next Bhagavad Gita course is starting on 26th of September. I'm sharing this link. If you can, please spread this link to your friends and family members. If you think they will get benefited out of it, then please, if you are really, if you really want to be part of this yagna, this sacrifice ceremony going ever, we want to continue this sacrifice. This will never stop, right? So we all want to learn and keep on spreading, because this is what we are. This is what we are supposed to do as a human being. Learn and spread, contagious spread of Bhagavad Gita message. We want to see everybody happy. We want to love and serve others. So please spread this link of Bhagavad Gita to everybody whom you know. And if you can be a little kind, and I'm sending you my email address. This is the email address. In this email address, please send me your feedback, or whatever you felt like technical, my presentation aspect, wherever I need to improve. Please send me your feedback at this email address. You can record a short video also and send me on my WhatsApp number. My WhatsApp number is 807-251-9700. So this is my WhatsApp number. So if you can record a short video, how you felt like in this Bhagavad Gita course, and send me your short video, or what we need to improve upon this course, and send me an email. Once you send me an email, and I have to send you the certificates of your completion of the course. So I will send you the certificate for your course when you send me an email. And then I will go through all the attendance, and whosoever has attended this Bhagavad Gita, every course will get the certificate of completion of this Bhagavad Gita. Yes, again, as I said, that we are starting the next course. This is the link for the next course. If you join the next course, I promise you that you will enjoy it more than what you have done as of now. Because when you learn Bhagavad Gita more, you listen or you read second time, you get more out of it. So all the days recordings will be posted. All these recordings will be posted in our Facebook and WhatsApp group. So I will send you the link. I'm sending you WhatsApp group link here again for the benefit of everybody. Here is the link for the WhatsApp group. And please, if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, just click this link and join the WhatsApp group. And you will get the recordings of the WhatsApp group. Here is the Facebook group link. Those who haven't joined the Facebook group can join the Facebook group link. And please, if you can, share your experience by email, by either video or by typing a few words about your how did you feel like, what changes you would like to see in Bhagavad Gita course. That will be really nice. I will send. Yes, Sureka, I will send. Thank you, Neeraj ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Arshna ji. Um, I'm seeing all your wonderful feedback here. Unfortunately, I will not be able to save all this feedback because as soon as I close this, then this feedback might disappear. So I request everybody, whatever you are typing on the screen, or whatever the feedback you are typing on the screen, if you can send it to me by email, that will be really nice. So then I can work upon your feedback, and I can keep your feedback with me and meditate upon it. So I'm really thankful to everybody whosoever has joined it. Yes, Avinash ji has said that this is very confidential and this should not be given, and that is our idea, Avinash ji. We want to give it to everybody. So please spread the message of Bhagavad Gita to everybody. Our next course is starting on September 26th. It will be 7:30 p.m. India time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, Canada or America time, on 26th of September onwards. So 10 p.m. Canada time, Eastern time, Thunder Bay time, and 7:30 p.m. India time. That is the link for the next course. Thank you, Belaji. Thank you, Avinash. Thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Charuji. Thank you, Jilan. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, Vidya Lakshmi. Thank you, Meda. Thank you, Dr. Anita. Thank you, Arshna. Thank you, Dr. Neeraj. Thank you, Surika. Thank you, Dr. Dattatreya. Thank you, Chetanji. Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you, Vidya Lakshmi ji. Thank you, Tash. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Gary. Those of my friends. Thank you, Tash. Thank you, Harikumar ji, Nipa ji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anjali. Very, very grateful to all of you. Send me an email with your feeling, what your experience was, any improvements required. You can send me a video on my WhatsApp, record a short video, send me a video, spread the message of Bhagavad Gita, and I've sent a link for the next course starting, which is on 26th of September. Join in the Gita Yagna. Gita Yagna means the sacrifice. This is the sacrifice. Charuji is asking next course on food and bhakti. I will update you. I want to focus now on Bhagavad Gita more and more, and then we will work on the other courses. We want to work on Bhagavad Gita. Dhanyavad, Sureshji. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who has been through this journey. I'm really grateful to all of you, and really, really, it's a blessing of Krishna that I could get connected with all of you. Otherwise, it would have not been possible. Thank you, Hari Kumar ji, Sharat Chandra ji, Leena ji. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you, Charu ji. Thank you so much, Hari Bol. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, comments, please type it. I'm here to answer any of your questions if you have at this time. Do you have any questions or comments? I know Ananda Mahamuni ji had a question, but if you want to type Anand ji your question, sorry about that. Replying at later time, but I'm willing to answer any of the questions if you have. Again, join the groups, WhatsApp and Facebook group. Post on the groups whatever you feel like. Facebook group. Post your experiences of reading Bhagavad Gita. Post your questions, and then everybody can try to share their experience. Thank you, Dr. Anita ji, for your kind words, and I'm really thankful. Many of the doctors also are here on this. Dr. Sureka Chavan, Dr. Neeraj Verma, Dr. Anita, Dr. Meda. So many doctors have spent their valuable time for the Bhagavad Gita course. So I'm really thankful to all of you for spending your valuable time with us. This is wonderful. And total about 300 people registered for this course as of 321. Avinash ji has a question. Krishna says, as all surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respect. O son of Pritha, can you please elaborate? It seems not only wise, but everybody else also follow his path. Okay, I will try to answer this, Avinash ji. So, Lord Krishna says that everybody follows his path, directly or indirectly. And Lord Krishna will reward them. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. So if you surrender to Lord Krishna 100%, Krishna will look after 100%. And then if you your surrender is less, that proportionate will be less. How does that work? Now, some people, they follow all the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. So then they will get the benefit 100%. Like if you take all the medicine which is prescribed by a doctor, then you will get recovered very fast. But if you say, okay, I will take medicine today, but I will not take medicine tomorrow, then the result of the medicine will not work. Simple is that is that if we follow all the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, take them what Krishna has taught us, then we will get benefit accordingly. Sometimes if we follow, sometimes not, then it will not work, or it will work whatever the proportion you are taking the medicine. I hope that helps you. Anand Mahamuni ji has a question. What is Vanaprastha? Is retirement a concept really good to give up a duty? Okay, retirement, retirement at a particular age, person needs to rest from his duty. Of course, like, if you are 65 years of age, you have to retire from the government duty. Here, the duty means that duty, some of the duties are temporary, like you're working as a job. So, I mean, how long you have to work? Your body cannot sustain that longer also. So at a particular age, yes, you have to retire. But certain duties not to be given up, like seva, service, love. Never give up service and love. The day you give up love and service, that means you are not human being. Yeah, you are just degrading now. So some of the things never to be given up, like love and service. But some of the material duties, like after a particular age, I have 65, 70, my brain will become less and less functioning. At that time, I cannot work as a, suppose my work is as a doctor and my body is not helping me. How long I can help patients, right? So that time I have to retire. So some of the things we have to retire, but some of the things we should not retire. So that is what Lord Krishna is explaining. If you have any other questions, please type it in your chat box. I'm happy to answer any of the questions if you have. किसी का कोई प्रश्न है तो आप टाइप कर सकते हैं. If you have any queries, if you have any comments, please type it. Please don't forget to send me an email at my email address vccthunderbay@gmail.com, and I will like to have your feedback, how we can move forward, how we can improve upon, and if you can send me your video testimonial also, that will also be very, very nice. So send me your video testimonial as well. That will be wonderful, and that will help me to improve upon the course further. So you have my WhatsApp number, 807. I will type it again. I'm going to type my WhatsApp number again. Here is the WhatsApp number, 001-807-251-9700. Send me your testimonial or feedback on the WhatsApp number by video, by chat, or my email address, vccthunderbay@gmail.com. Again, keep on reading Bhagavad Gita, stay safe. Hare Krishna, Rajesh ji. Thank you, Ananda ji. Yes, this pandemic has been blessing in a sense. When we strive for perfection, we feel disillusioned. If we do not achieve it, how do we overcome such situation? Hari Kumarji, as I said, that perfection is not possible because, as Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, that there is always some sort of fault, some sort of lacunae in all the work we do. But we do it as a sacrifice to Krishna, and with the mentality of renunciation, then perfection is achieved. That is what Lord Krishna has explained in Bhagavad Gita. And perfection means satisfaction, satisfaction of mind, satisfaction of self. Thank you, Pallaviji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna to everybody. Hari Kumar, thank you so much, Hari Kumarji. Really appreciate your kindness and your. If anybody has any questions, please type it. I'm really happy to answer any questions you have. As all of you are patiently hearing and waiting, I will share some of my experiences of Bhagavad Gita. I started reading Bhagavad Gita when I came to Canada. In 2001, I came to Canada. And I landed from India among my family members and friends. I came in a country where I knew no one, literally no one. I came with my wife and my daughter. And it was as if I was lost. I was not able to decide what should I do now. Just like Arjuna, Arjuna was not able to decide. I landed in a country which was cold. I gave up all the family, friends, and I came here to a country where I knew no one actually. At that time, I was not sure what I was doing actually. I was not even sure what should I be doing. So I got a job. My job was, I was living in Toronto, and my job was about 1.5 hours drive from my work. So I used to take a bus and a train and travel. So 1.5 hour going and 1.5 hour coming. Toronto is just like Bombay, It's a very busy, very, very busy place. So I was traveling, and then still I was not feeling satisfied. I was not feeling that what I was doing here in this country and why I was here. I was confused totally that why, first of all, I left my country, I left my family, friends, and why did I come here? And at that time, one day, I had a Bhagavad Gita in my home. My wife got Bhagavad Gita from India when we were traveling, and I picked up that Bhagavad Gita, and I said, I'm going to read this book while I'm traveling in the bus. Every day I used to travel for about 1.5 hours, 3 hours every single day. So I picked up that Bhagavad Gita and I started reading it in the bus. And this was the same Bhagavad Gita as it is, which I sent you a PDF file just now. So I said, let me read something because I was confused. I was not able to decide what I should do. And then I read first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and I got so much engrossed in this Bhagavad Gita that in 15 days, I finished entire Bhagavad Gita. Whenever I used to get a time, in the afternoon lunch time or evening time or wherever I found time, I read Bhagavad Gita. Somehow, I started correlating myself with the position of Arjuna. And I found the answers which I was looking for. You're there. Everybody there? Can you all hear me? Yes. So I was just sharing my story of reading Bhagavad Gita. Yes, I was sharing my story of Bhagavad Gita. And somehow I was convinced after reading Bhagavad Gita 2 times that if I want some guidance, I can get it from Bhagavad Gita. And then after reading second time of Bhagavad Gita, I revisited a nearest ISKCON temple here where Srila Prabhupada's teachings are taught in Bhagavad Gita. So then I visited the ISKCON temple, and they were at that time conducting a certification course in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, the course was called as Bhakti Shastri. So I enrolled in Bhakti Shastri course. I learned entire Bhagavad Gita, Sanskrit, and its application. And also the course I learned Ishopanishad. I learned Nectar of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Upadeshamrita. All these scriptures I learned in that course. I was in Toronto. And it opened a new door for me, actually. So I was really blessed. And then I took Bhagavad Gita, and I started teaching Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita has changed my life, and since then it has given me a direction. It has given me a way of living. It is a new way of living. I say Bhagavad Gita is art of living. It is a book which teaches you how we can live perfectly, successfully, and happily. So I just shared my experience with all of you. If you feel like that you have similar experience, share it with others. Whatever you have gained out of this course after reading Bhagavad Gita, by practicing Bhagavad Gita, share it with others and enrich others' life. If anybody wants to say something, please record a video and send it to me. I will be happy to share your experiences, if you like, with everybody on the WhatsApp group, on the Facebook group. And this will give encouragement to others to follow the path. I have seen many people's lives being changed with Bhagavad Gita. Not only my life, but innumerable people have benefited from Bhagavad Gita. So consider this as a life and soul, and a wonderful, wonderful method to live the life. With that, I will give rest to my speech. Thank you so much, everybody. My blessings to everybody. Hare Krishna to everybody. Stay safe. Read, keep on reading Bhagavad Gita. Keep in touch. I will miss you all. If you wish, please join again Bhagavad Gita course. You can join second, third, as many times as you want. Keep on participating in groups and sessions. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. God bless you all. Hari Bol Madhufai, Hare Krishna Lajju ji, Hare Krishna Swati ji, Hare Krishna to everybody. Sharmila ji, will miss the Saturday meetings with you. Yes, for sure. You can join the next Saturday meeting starting on 26th of September. So you can join those meetings. Actually, currently we have another course going on for the Australian devotees, and that is happening on every Saturday at 10:30 p.m. here. So 8 o'clock morning India time. Every Saturday morning we have 8 o'clock India time course. But anytime you feel like joining a course, there will be definitely a course going on every week. So if you feel like, just send me a message, and there's no charge to these courses. So you can join all the courses. We have currently one course going on for the Australia. So you can join that course, which will be 8 o'clock Saturday morning time, or next course starting 26th of September. So please, please, please join that. Thank you so much. I will definitely send video recordings so you can see the videos again and again and revise the chapters. So with that, I will close the session. Thank you so much. Please take care. Stay safe. Hare Krishna. I'm just closing the session now.